We continue to look at how the management of our needs for insurance could impact the lives we enjoy when we retire. Welcome to Retirement Matters.
Relationships that build wealth, create opportunities, the right solutions. That's what we do at JN Fund Managers.
We're in pursuit of your financial security.
Portfolio and investment management services for individuals and corporate clients, from wealth building and risk management to preparing for a comfortable retirement. Strong, stable, secure.
We're in pursuit of your success.
Let's talk. JN Fund Managers, your safer, smarter financial partner.
We're happy to welcome Christopher Hind, General Manager of JN General Insurance. We continue a conversation we started last week. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Christopher Hind.
Hello again, Annette. Thank you for having me back, and good morning to your listeners.
Some persons who are trying to accumulate funds to invest for their retirement portfolio may be tempted to bypass or skimp on insurance. Would this be a bad idea?
In my opinion, yes, it would. Your most valuable assets, your car and your home, are at risk. And I do agree that sometimes it's difficult to find the money to pay the annual premiums, but finding the money to replace your home or your car out of your own resources, or to pay the medical bills of an injured third party who was hurt in an accident that was your fault, would probably be impossible by comparison.
How does one determine how much insurance is enough?
I think, Annette, that you have to ask yourself what is at risk. If we start with your home, for example, it's important to insure the home for its full replacement cost. And that's because of the condition of average that you might have heard about. Insurance policies contain the condition of average, and simply that means that a claim will be paid in direct proportion to the amount of insurance that you are covering. A simple example, if it would cost $20 million to rebuild your house, but you've only insured it for 10, you've insured 50% of the risk. So if you suffered a loss, let's say a claim that was worth $5 million, you might think, well, I've got $10 million of insurance, so I'm all right. But the claim would actually be paid according to the condition of average in proportion to the amount of insurance you have. You have $10 million over a $20 million value, so that's 50%. Your $5 million claim would be paid at 50%. So you wouldn't get $5 million, you get $2.5 million.
How do you determine the correct value of your house?
You can get a valuation for insurance purposes, which is a lot cheaper than getting a traditional valuation of your house. And most insurance companies or brokers will be able to put you in touch with someone who can come and do that valuation. They will work out the square footage and the replacement cost according to how your house has been built and finished, and they will be able to give you that value, which will be the basis of your cover with your insurance company.
How can we maximize the benefits of insurance so that the coverage we secure is the right amount and the right types that we need? Because I know there are different kinds of insurance.
Yeah. Again, with individuals, we're talking about your home or your car most of the time, maybe your small business. The key is always to get good advice. And that may be from a broker or an agent if you don't want to deal directly with the insurance company. We spoke about making sure that you have adequate home insurance, but it's also very important with your motor insurance that you make sure that you have the right kind of cover. And if I may, Annette, I'd like to give a simple example. Your third-party liability limits are very important because if accidents happen, and no matter how carefully we drive, sometimes it is our fault. We make a mistake. And if it's your fault, then it will be your insurance company and your insurance cover that has to repair the third party's car, the person that you had the collision with, and also, heaven forbid, if there are any injuries, you may be responsible for those medical bills. Now, let's think, if you're driving along and unfortunately you have a collision that's your fault with somebody driving an X6, let's say, a BMW X6.
Yes.
The vehicle is worth $20 million, right? Let us say. If you only have $5 million of coverage, your insurance company will pay $5 million of the bill. Let's say you've written that vehicle off. The other $15 million, where do you think that's going to come from? That will have to come from out of your own resources. So when you're choosing insurance, premium and price is very important, but you have to make sure that you're comparing apples for apples when you're comparing prices, and how much coverage you have on your auto insurance, what those third-party liability limits are. It's very, very important that you understand that and understand the risks that you may face out there on the road.
Something tells me that the consultation process prior to purchasing insurance needs to be done not in a hurry, but very carefully.
Yes, Annette, you're absolutely right. It's important that you get good advice. It's important that you understand the risks that you face, and you should deal with someone who takes time with you, explains some of the nuances and some of the complexities, and takes the time to take you right through what your policy covers so that you have a clear understanding of what protection that you have.
We've been speaking about insurance. Let's speak a little bit about J&GI. Why J&GI? What makes J&GI distinctive?
Well, first of all, J&GI is a very proud member of the Jamaica National Building Society group of companies, and we absolutely share JN's ethos with regard to service to our customers, service to the members of the Building Society, giving back to our community and giving back to the nation. Those are very, very important things to us. And at J&GI, we strive our very utmost always to try and settle our claims quickly and fairly. And if there are issues with how we're doing that, there is always someone to speak to at J&GI, and we will do our level best to make sure that we live up to our customer expectations.
May I add that JN Fund Managers is also a proud subsidiary of Jamaica National and also a member of the JN Group. J&GI is also a good citizen. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, I think it's important for companies to give back to the communities in which they operate. Some people say that issues with the environment, issues with the community, what you're really doing is you are heading off financial problems early in the game. So it's important that everybody makes that contribution. One of the areas that we have been focused on in particular is better use of the Jamaican roads. We've collaborated with the Jamaica Automobile Association, which is another sister company of both of ours. We've worked with the JN Foundation, and we've worked with the brilliant team at Mona Geoinformatics of the University of the West Indies to spatially locate every fatal accident that's happened in Jamaica over the last 12 years so that we could identify the worst parts of our roads and erect warning signs in those crashes.
Which I have seen, and they have slowed me down.
Yes, well,
Perhaps
I'm glad
saved my
about
life.
that. Well, let's hope that they have had an impact. So the intention was to erect these signs so that people would know that they were entering a part of our road network that has a bad history for road crashes and, unfortunately, fatalities. And it's a serious problem. We're losing somewhere between 300 and 350 Jamaicans every year on our roads to horrible traumatic deaths, and it's something we really need to pay more attention to, and we must improve those outcomes. So J&GI is determined to play its part in delivering a better outcome for Jamaica and Jamaicans in that area.
We spoke earlier about having your retirement plan as part of your overall financial plan. You have shared with us how insurance should be a part of this financial plan. Thank you so much for spending time with us this morning, Christopher. I do appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me, Annette.
So, Mr. Christopher Hind, General Manager, J&GI, we thank you again for being a part of Retirement Matters. And to our listeners, thanks for being with us. Please join us again next week, Thursday morning, when the series continues. Please email your questions to jnfundmanagers@jnbs.com or contact us through our website or text us 504-1719. That's 504-1719. Enjoy your journey to retirement. That's your here and now, even as you plan, as you should, for the future. Take care of yourself and others. Until next week. Bye-bye.